And welcome back to another in-depth weather video. Today we are talking about Winter Storm Tabitha and the eastern portion of this storm. Now, this storm is not going to be too far on the heavy side in terms of precipitation, but it will have some significant impacts and lead up to Winter Storm Uri, which will be impacting early next week, and that seems to be a pretty major storm that we have to start watching. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now let's get right on into it. So we have a Weather Channel news article here. Winter storm poses weekend ice and snow threat for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. We have freezing rain, sleet, and snow will impact the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast this weekend. Significant icing is possible in portions of the Mid-Atlantic, and wintry weather could have impacts on your travel. Now, right now, we're seeing some very minimal precipitation, but we do have ice storm warnings in the Richmond area, as well as winter storm warnings even stretching down into North Carolina. Winter weather advisory stretching from the Tennessee River Valley all the way up to close to the New York City area. Now, Saturday, we're going to be seeing some minimal snowfall in the Great Lakes, a little bit of light snow in the New York area, as well as other parts of the Mid-Atlantic, sleet in Philadelphia and D.C., and ice from Greensboro up to Richmond, and a little bit back there in the Tennessee River Valley. Now, Saturday night to Sunday morning, we're going to be seeing snowfall in much of southern New England, as well as areas such as New York, and even into the interior Northeast. Sleet will be taking over in Long Island, as well as Philadelphia, and ice will be the main factor here in D.C. and Richmond. Now, here's the probability of ice. Now, this includes parts of Uri as well. We're going to be looking at this eastern part right here. So these areas in this deep magenta, those are the areas that will be seeing the highest chance of getting a tenth of an inch of ice, which means that you're going to be seeing most of your power outages based on ice. Those trees will be snapping with all the weight on them, as well as power lines. So definitely some significant impacts there. And that includes areas such as Richmond, Greensboro, D.C., and Philadelphia. New York, you're in the medium area. This is the areas that have a decent chance, but it's definitely not a for sure thing. And then if you're in this light pink here, that means you'll probably see some minimal impacts, probably not close to that tenth of an inch. Now, this is total snowfall from both storms, Tabitha and Uri, so we're not going to be looking at this. So here is the NAM model with some details on the storm. So we're going to be seeing this icing here. Right now, already in North Carolina and Virginia, some light snow back here. This is where we currently are right now. We're going to be seeing this snow move into southern New England, some sleet in the Philadelphia area. DC and Philly start off as sleet. New York and Boston will probably start off with a little snow. Boston will probably stay snow for the majority of the storm. The rest of southern New England, the further southwest you go, the more likely you are to change over to some sleet. And the major icing will be happening in North Carolina, Virginia, and portions of the Delmarva, as well as parts of southeastern New Jersey. But this storm system moves off, still pretty weak, not really very organized, and that's why there's very minimal impacts there. So let's go over to our total snowfall. So here is our total snowfall for this storm. So we're going to be looking at some decent snowfall totals in areas of the Great Lakes, but very minimal in the Northeast. Maybe seeing up to 2 inches of snow at the most. But once you get into Uri, you'll see some more snowfall there. Now, in terms of ice, we're going to be seeing a lot more ice from this storm than we are going to be seeing snow from this storm. And that'll show up here in just a second. So here you can see some minimal icing in the Tennessee River Valley, even stretching down back into Mississippi and Louisiana. But we could see easily a half an inch of ice in some areas of Virginia and North Carolina. Now, here we see that DC and Philadelphia are too far north to see some significant icing, as well as New York and Boston. So this is the major difference between the NAM and the European models, is that there's not a huge amount of ice in those major cities according to the NAM, whereas the European model has the opposite, seeing some significant icing in parts of the country that are very heavily populated. But that is all I have for this storm. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.